In a quiet suburban town, a passionate love story took a deadly turn, leaving the community in shock. What dark secrets lie behind the romance of Jason and Kelly? Prepare to uncover the chilling truth behind their fatal affair. Jason and Kelly's love ignited at a young age, filled with dreams and aspirations. Friends described them as inseparable, their bond seemingly unbreakable. But beneath the surface, jealousy and obsession began to brew. As their relationship grew, so did the pressure from outside forces. Kelly's family disapproved, sensing Jason's intense devotion turned possessive. Tensions rose, simmering beneath the facade of happiness. Despite the growing chasm, Jason and Kelly's passion blazed fiercely, leading to a whirlwind engagement. Friends were thrilled, but cracks began to show as jealousy reared its ugly head. As their wedding day approached, Kelly's doubts intensified. She confided in her best friend about feeling suffocated by Jason's controlling behavior. A dangerous rift began to form. Jason, sensing the distance, became increasingly possessive. He monitored Kelly's movements, leading to explosive arguments that shocked those around them. Love turned toxic. But could anyone intervene in time? On the night of their wedding rehearsal, tensions reached a boiling point. Friends witnessed a fiery argument, leaving many questioning if this union could survive. Was this love meant to last, or destined for tragedy? The following day, tragedy struck. In the early hours, a gunshot echoed through the neighborhood, sending shockwaves among the residents. What had happened behind closed doors? Police arrived to find a horrifying scene. Jason was dead, and Kelly was nowhere to be found. The mystery deepened. Had it been a tragic accident or a calculated murder? As investigators delved deeper, they uncovered a web of deceit and betrayal. Kelly had vanished without a trace, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Where could she be? Days turned into weeks, and the search for Kelly intensified. Friends and family rallied together, desperate for answers. Each day, hope dwindled as the reality of the situation set in. Eventually, a breakthrough emerged. A tip led investigators to a remote area where Kelly was found alive but shaken. The details of her disappearance were chilling, revealing a darker side to their love. Kelly recounted a harrowing tale. Jason had confronted her about their relationship, leading to a violent struggle where she feared for her life. In a moment of panic, she fled. Investigators pieced together the events that night. Kelly's fears were validated. Jason's controlling nature escalated to violence. The truth slowly unraveled, revealing a tragic pattern of abuse. The case gained media attention, sparking conversations about domestic violence and the complexities of love. Kelly's story resonated with many, highlighting the need for awareness and support. As the trial approached, Kelly's past came under scrutiny. Many questioned her role in the confrontation and whether her actions were justified. Was she a victim or something more? The trial revealed shocking testimonies from friends and family, painting a complex picture of their relationship. Was love truly worth the price they paid? As the jury deliberated, the community held its breath. Kelly's fate hung in the balance, with debates raging over justice and accountability. Would she be freed or face severe consequences? Finally, the verdict was announced. The courtroom erupted with emotion as supporters and critics faced off. How would this verdict shape the future of Kelly and the conversation around domestic abuse? The tragic love story of Jason and Kelly serves as a haunting reminder of the complexities of relationships. As we reflect on their tale, we must ask ourselves, how can we break the cycle of violence and support those in need? As the trial progressed, the courtroom was filled with whispers and glances, each person eager to catch a glimpse of the unfolding drama. Kelly's defense painted a complex picture of their relationship, highlighting her struggles and the emotional scars left by Jason's actions. Supporters of both sides rallied outside, amplifying the tension surrounding the case. Witnesses began to take the stand, each recounting their version of events leading up to that tragic night. Friends and family painted a picture of a couple deeply in love but entangled in a toxic web of jealousy and control. Their testimonies revealed a darker side to what many saw as a romantic relationship. Among the witnesses was a childhood friend of Kelly's who described a night filled with laughter that quickly turned to fear. They recalled an incident where Jason's jealousy escalated, leading to a heated argument that left Kelly shaken. This friend's testimony revealed the early warning signs of their volatile relationship. Kelly's family, visibly distressed, sat in the courtroom, whispering among themselves. They were there to support her, but were also piecing together the unsettling narrative woven by the testimonies. Questions swirled in their minds. How had they missed the signs of her suffering? As the prosecution presented evidence, photographs from the night of the incident became a focal point. They illustrated the chaotic aftermath that left everyone in shock. The visual evidence was a stark reminder of the night that altered the course of many lives forever. The defense argued that Kelly was a victim of circumstance, trapped in a relationship that spiraled out of control. They emphasized her mental state, asserting that the pressure from Jason's controlling behavior pushed her to her limits. Their narrative sought to humanize Kelly amidst the mounting evidence. Amid the legal battle, media coverage intensified, with sensational headlines grabbing public attention. The love story gone wrong captivated audiences, but it also sparked outrage over the normalization of domestic violence in society. Discussions erupted both online and offline, urging for change. As the trial continued, domestic violence advocates mobilized, holding vigils and marches outside the courthouse. They aimed to raise awareness around the issues highlighted by the case, emphasizing that Kelly's story was not an isolated incident, but a reflection of a systemic problem. In a twist of fate, new evidence emerged during the trial that called into question Jason's behavior in the days leading up to the incident. Text messages and social media posts revealed his increasing paranoia and obsession, painting a clearer picture of the dark dynamics at play. As the prosecution presented this new evidence, the courtroom buzzed with murmurs of disbelief. The revelation shifted perceptions of both Jason and Kelly, complicating the narrative further. This complexity drew the attention of both supporters and critics alike, igniting heated debates in the gallery. Psychological experts were brought in to discuss the mindsets of both Jason and Kelly. They elaborated on the cycles of abuse and the impact of manipulation within relationships. Their insights shed light on the complexities of love that can turn fatal, raising questions about prevention and intervention. Kelly's demeanor in the courtroom also shifted as the trial progressed. At times, she appeared defiant, while at others, she was visibly distressed. This duality reflected the internal conflict she faced while navigating her past with Jason and the reality of their tragic ending. With mounting evidence, the prosecution began to focus on the final moments of Jason's life. They argued that the violent confrontation was not a spontaneous act, but rather a culmination of escalating tensions. Witnesses recounted the night as filled with fear and desperation, underscoring the tragic end. As the trial neared its conclusion, the jury was tasked with a difficult decision. They had to weigh the evidence and emotional testimonies against the backdrop of a tragic love story. The stakes were high, as their verdict would not only impact Kelly, but also send ripples through discussions on domestic violence. Supporters of Kelly gathered outside the courthouse, praying for a verdict that would bring justice and shed light on the realities of domestic abuse. Their chants echoed a desire for change and a hope that Kelly's story would inspire others to seek help. On the day of the verdict, the atmosphere was electric with tension. Reporters crowded the steps of the courthouse, ready to report on the outcome that could change lives. Families stood by, some hopeful, others fearful of what the day would reveal. As the jury entered the courtroom, silence enveloped every corner. A collective breath held in anticipation. The foreman stood, ready to announce the verdict that would determine Kelly's future. The weight of countless testimonies and evidence rested on this moment. The verdict echoed through the courtroom, sending shockwaves across the community. Gasps erupted, and emotions ran high as the reality of the decision settled in. For Kelly and her supporters, this was not just a verdict. It was a reflection of their fight against domestic violence. In the aftermath of the trial, Kelly's team worked tirelessly to navigate the new reality. With support from advocates, they aimed to amplify the conversation surrounding domestic violence, using Kelly's story as a catalyst for change. Their mission was clear: to empower and educate others. As the public discourse grew, media outlets began to cover not just the trial, but also the broader implications of domestic violence in society. Conversations shifted from sensationalism to genuine concern, fostering a greater understanding of the complexities involved. Support groups sprouted in various communities, inspired by Kelly's story, offering safe spaces for those affected by domestic violence. These groups aimed to provide resources, counseling, and a sense of community to individuals ready to break free from the cycle of abuse. Meanwhile, Kelly found herself grappling with the aftermath of her trial. Although she was surrounded by support, the weight of her experience lingered. Healing would be a long process, and she began to understand the importance of mental health care for survivors. Kelly's journey inspired many to share their own stories, creating a ripple effect of awareness and solidarity. As survivors stepped forward, a community began to form, united in the fight against domestic violence and committed to supporting one another. In this new chapter, Kelly became an advocate, speaking at events and raising awareness on the signs of abuse. Her voice resonated with many, and she aimed to empower others to seek help before it was too late. Kelly's story became a beacon of hope for those still trapped in silence. As Kelly's advocacy gained momentum, organizations began to partner with her, amplifying her message further. Together, they aimed to dismantle the stigma surrounding domestic violence and promote resources available for those in need. Change was slowly but surely on the horizon. In the final year of her advocacy, Kelly launched a campaign that empowered survivors to share their experiences publicly. This initiative aimed to foster a culture of openness and support, encouraging others to confront their pasts and find strength in solidarity. As Kelly reflected on her journey, she realized the importance of resilience and the power of community in healing. Through her trials and triumphs, she emerged as a symbol of hope, reminding others that they were not alone in their struggles. A new movement was born, all thanks to her bravery. Kelly's story became a case study in discussions about domestic violence, used in schools and organizations for educational purposes. Her experiences served as a lens through which others could understand the complexities of abusive relationships and the necessary steps toward healing. As years passed, Kelly continued her advocacy work, evolving the conversation surrounding domestic violence. She spoke at national conferences, participated in panels, and collaborated with lawmakers to push for stronger protections for victims. Her voice became an essential part of the movement. Throughout her journey, Kelly emphasized the importance of prevention and education. She believed that by addressing the roots of domestic violence, society could enact real change. Her efforts inspired policy reforms aimed at creating safer environments for future generations. As we look back on the legacy of Kelly's journey, it's clear that her resilience and courage sparked a movement. She not only transformed her pain into purpose, but inspired countless others to do the same. The battle against domestic violence continues, but with voices like Kelly's, hope remains. Kelly's commitment to change has created lasting impacts on her community and beyond. She became a mentor to young survivors, guiding them through their healing processes. Her story continues to resonate, encouraging others to find their voices and speak out. In recognition of her efforts, Kelly received awards and accolades from various organizations. These honors were a testament to her unwavering dedication to the cause and the profound difference she made in the lives of others. The recognition brought her both joy and a greater sense of responsibility. As she continued her work, Kelly launched a foundation aimed at providing resources and support for victims of domestic violence. Her vision was to create safe spaces and empower individuals to reclaim their lives. This foundation became a beacon for many searching for help. Kelly's foundation not only provided immediate assistance, but also advocated for policy changes that would help prevent domestic violence in the future. Her efforts were aimed at creating a sustainable impact, ensuring that others would not have to endure similar struggles. As her story reached a wider audience, Kelly inspired documentaries and films focused on domestic violence. These visual narratives depicted her journey and the importance of speaking out, aiming to educate viewers and spark conversations across the globe. With a renewed sense of purpose, Kelly embraced her role as a leader in the advocacy space. She connected with other survivors, forming networks of support and empowerment. This collective strength aimed to break the silence surrounding domestic violence once and for all. In the years to come, Kelly's foundation expanded its reach, collaborating with international organizations to tackle domestic violence on a global scale. Her vision transcended borders, bringing attention to the universal nature of the issue and the need for collective action. As her impact grew, Kelly remained grounded and focused on her mission. She often returned to her roots, sharing her story in schools and community centers, ensuring that the next generation understood the signs of abuse and the importance of intervention. Ultimately, Kelly's journey is one of resilience, transformation, and hope. Her story serves as a reminder that even in the darkest times, it is possible to find a way to turn pain into purpose. As we follow her path, we are left to ponder how we can all contribute to breaking the cycle of violence. As Kelly began to distance herself from Jason, she sought support from friends who had witnessed his troubling behavior. They encouraged her to document the incidents, emphasizing the importance of having evidence of his escalating aggression. Little did she know, this would become crucial in the coming months. However, Jason was not ready to let go. His jealousy turned toxic, leading him to stalk Kelly, often showing up uninvited. Friends reported seeing him lurking outside her workplace and at social gatherings, which only heightened Kelly's fear and anxiety. The situation reached a boiling point. One fateful evening, Kelly attended a friend's birthday party, hoping to enjoy a night away from Jason. But when Jason discovered her whereabouts, he reacted violently, arriving at the party with rage in his eyes. Witnesses described the chaos that ensued. Jason confronted Kelly in front of her friends, accusing her of betrayal. The tension escalated quickly, leading to a physical altercation that left everyone in shock and fear. In the aftermath of that night, Kelly knew she had to take drastic steps to protect herself. She contacted local authorities and filed a restraining order against Jason, outlining his abusive actions and her fears for her safety. Despite the legal measures, Jason refused to accept the end of their relationship. He continued to harass Kelly, violating the restraining order repeatedly. Each incident was a stark reminder of his volatile nature and her precarious situation. As weeks turned into months, Kelly's anxiety escalated. She often looked over her shoulder, afraid that Jason would show up at any moment. Her friends rallied around her, but the emotional toll was immense. Then came the day that would change everything. Kelly received a phone call from a friend who had heard rumors about Jason's plans. He was talking about taking things to a dangerous level, and this news sent chills down her spine. Realizing the severity of the situation, Kelly decided to take action. She reached out to a local shelter for domestic abuse victims. There, she found guidance on safety planning and how to navigate her next steps. In a moment of clarity, Kelly also gathered her close friends and family to share her experiences. Together, they formed a safety network, ensuring someone would always be there to keep her safe and monitor Jason's movements. However, Jason's obsession grew, leading him to make one last desperate attempt to regain control. He showed up at Kelly's workplace, causing a scene that would endanger not just her, but everyone around her. The police were called once more, and this time, they acted swiftly. Jason was taken into custody, and his erratic behavior was thoroughly documented as evidence against him. For Kelly, this marked a pivotal turning point. In the following days, Kelly felt a mixture of relief and uncertainty. While Jason was behind bars, the emotional scars remained. Therapy became an essential part of her healing journey as she sought to reclaim her life. As she navigated her recovery, Kelly also chose to speak out publicly about her experiences. She began volunteering at domestic violence awareness organizations, hoping to empower others in similar situations and break the silence surrounding abuse. Through her advocacy, Kelly not only found her voice but also connected with others who shared their stories. This bond became a source of strength for her, proving that community support can heal deep wounds. As time went on, Jason's legal battles continued. He faced multiple charges stemming from his harassment and assault on Kelly. The case gained media attention, highlighting the realities of domestic abuse. For Kelly, the ongoing legal proceedings were a reminder of her trauma. Yet, she channeled that pain into activism, working to push for stronger laws protecting victims and holding abusers accountable. In the end, Kelly's journey became a beacon of hope for many. She transformed her experiences into a powerful narrative, inspiring countless individuals to share their stories and seek help. Her resilience was a testament to the human spirit. As we conclude Kelly's story, we are reminded that love should never come at the cost of safety. Her journey emphasizes the importance of speaking out, seeking help, and building a supportive community. Let us all reflect on how we can help break the cycle of violence.